why do I think people fail at trading? I'd say the number one reason is people are scared to fail. It's as simple as that. They are just scared to fail. And when you trade, you have to be fearless. You can't go into it thinking you're not going to lose money, because you are. It's inevitable that you're going to lose money. Whatever you do, you're going to lose money at it, and you have to lose to win. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, don't trade. If you're not prepared to do that, then don't. It's just not worth it. It's just too stressful, and you'll get into all sorts of bother at home, and you're just stirring up a lot of trouble for yourself, which isn't required. But a lot of people are just too scared to fail. And the number two reason is that people hate being wrong. They absolutely hate being wrong. So if you try this one out, if you believe you're right about something, especially if you're in a relationship, and if you believe you're right about something, and you have to admit you're wrong, just try and do that. Try and admit that you're wrong, just to make the peace. Try and admit it, that you're wrong, even though you think you're right. It's one of the hardest things for people to do. And the hardest, because your ego just wants to say, I'm right and that's it, and that's all there is to it. But when it comes to trading, if you're wrong, you have to admit it. You have to say, look, the market's going against me. The market does what it wants to do. It can do anything it wants to do. It will surprise you. And if you keep saying, oh, it should do this or it should do that because of this reason, because of that reason, then you're kidding and deluding yourself. The market will do what it wants to do. And if it does go against you, you need to cut the trade short. You need to cut it dead to avoid losing a ton of money. But because people hate to admit that they're wrong, they will stay in the trade for too long. Instead of taking a small loss, they end up taking a great big loss just because they can't admit that they got it wrong. I mean, it doesn't matter. You get it wrong, you get it wrong. But when you get it right, you let those winners run for you, run and run and run. So I think the biggest reason that traders fail is that they can't admit to themselves that they got it wrong. So like recently when Apple shares were $133 and they released their earnings for quarter 3, people were buying at $133 because they expected Apple to make record figures. And of course they did. They made amazing numbers for that particular quarter, like for like compared to last year. But guess what happened? The market absolutely plummeted. It plummeted. It just fell. It just fell the following day. And you know, the current price is $114. $114. And that was on record results for Apple. So, where people get it wrong, they can get it wrong big time. And they can be afraid to admit. But that's part of the deal. That's part of trading for you. So if you can't accept that you're going to lose at trading, then you shouldn't do it. You should just avoid it altogether. Go and do something else. Maybe you're better off just staying in a job. There's nothing wrong with staying in a job. It suits some people. It's not for me, but it is right for some people who don't like taking any risk whatsoever. But if you don't take the risk, you have to accept that you will stay at the same level. You can't go beyond a certain level. Your comfort zone is your income zone. Your income zone is your comfort zone. And and it will always be that way. When you're working for somebody else, you know, you're part of their financial plan. They're not worried about your financial plan. You're part of theirs. So you can't expect to get all the profits at the end of it when it's the business owner that's taking all the risks and having all the headaches and putting up with recessions and all sorts of things. It's just going to happen. So all I'd say is, if you are going to trade, just think about that. Just think, am I going to be able to put up with loss? Am I able to accept loss? And am I able to accept that when something goes against me, when a price goes against me, that I'm going to be able to just accept that loss, close the trade down, move on? There's going to be another opportunity, because you won't be there, you won't be in the game for very long if you're not able to do that, because you just run out of cash, you just run out of dough. So that is the reason why most people fail at trading. Full stop. Full stop.